Yeah, thanks for starting.
Seconds.
And you're on.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the Carmel Clay Public Library Board of Trustees meeting, March 23rd, 2026. I call this meeting to order. We have an agenda in front of us. Get a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Okay, first from Ann Poindexter,
Second.
second from Rosie Falk. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We also have the consent agenda, which had last month's Board of Trustee meeting minutes and also the claims and warrants from last month's financial report and last month's bills list.
Move approval of the consent agenda.
We have first from Ann,
Second.
second from John. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I see no items were removed from the consent agenda. Oh, and we have the director's report. Bob, do you want to comment on that and anything there that you highlight or talk about?
Sure. I wanted to show something fun that I just got to do. We just gonna share my screen so this will get captured on the recording in case we need it. Yeah, so I was contacted by Andrew Wright from the Historical Society and invited to submit a letter for a time capsule to be opened in the year 2076. So he gave me some pointers of what they were looking for, and I just submitted my letter. And and this is the letter that he sent me requesting. So what a fun thing to get to do, and to try to write a letter to talk to people 50 years in the future is interesting. Space was limited though. Essentially, you couldn't go over one page. You had to stay on one page. So that was a lot to try to say in one page. And then the letter gets engraved in bronze and put in this time capsule that'll kind of look like that and will be opened at the History Museum in 2076. So if you want to know what I said, just be there in 2076 and they're going to open it up and read it. But I tried to write a little bit about the history of the library and explain what we're currently doing at the library and talk about some library values that we feel are important. Just acknowledge that this is a tumultuous point in history that we're living through right now today. I hope it all works out well for the people reading it in 2076. He did write me back and say, hey, you wrote the perfect letter. It's exactly what I was hoping for. He said, people reading it in 2076 will be able to compare their library with ours because you wrote with specificity. They know how we think about national and global affairs because you included it. They will be interested in the history you began the letter with. I was hoping for some of these elements in every letter, but yours included all of them. So thank you. So anyway, that was a fun thing to do. What a neat opportunity. So there's that.
Nice.
And I don't know that I have anything much beyond that to add. Bill is here. We're going to get a branch update a little later. Mostly a lot of good news to share with one problem he'll point out. Library After Dark, saw Casey and Ann. We were just discussing it was a successful event, and Liz told me that we sold more tickets this year than ever before. And she said pointed out it was a younger crowd, but the three of us, we all agree, it just didn't feel like there was as many people there. But I mean, I think it did well. But we did that. I will be leaving for a hiking trip and then swinging around to see families. I'm hiking in Smoky Mountains. Leaving on April 6th, I'll be back to work April 16th. So that whole kind of first half of April, I'm mostly out. Although I will be here through April 6th, which is good because Beth and a whole contingent of staff are going to Minneapolis for the Public Library Association Conference, which is at the end of March, the first few days of April. So I'll be excited to hear about the conference when I get back and hear about everyone's experiences there. I think that's it.
So we'll hold off on the questions on the branch.
Yes,
right?
Bill has a presentation for us.
So any other questions on the report?
Enjoy your trip.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. So get a motion to receive Bob's director's report.
Move to receive.
Okay, we have first from Casey,
Second.
second from Stephanie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any staff reports today?
Did want to remind everybody, it's not necessarily a report. You'll see a QR code in front of Ronj for all of our board members to scan. We would like to receive your summer reading t-shirts, which are going to be adorable thanks to our communications team and Sam Wilson, our graphic designer. So,
Nice.
rawr.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. When you're wearing them in town, we expect you to be able to tell everyone exactly how they can join the summer reading.
Thanks, Beth. Any other staff reports? Team, the library council. We'll probably see them sometime in the future, right?
Mhm.
And so now renovation update. Bill, do you wanna jump in here and partake in this little discussion?
Come up with me? Sure. Hang on, Phil, I'll share the screen here.
I'll just say standard. I'm not gonna read the screen to you guys, but we very successful in our completion with the second shutdown period.
You wanna sit?
Yeah, sure. We saw good success on the exterior work, the solar panels, the parapet cornice, the louvered screen wall, the hose bib and the receptacles, the disconnects for the HVAC units and the roof hydrant. And that's the exterior. If you go to the next page, I think we got some pictures of that work. So there's some pictures there.
Does look good. I mean, it's,
It looks beautiful.
we needed to hide those solar panels, but it looks nice.
Yeah. The cornice really turned out very nice and it looks really good. Yeah. So I think we're going to go into the interior work. And some of the interior work, we just had some brake metal in the mechanical rooms that we worked on. We did refinish the circulation desk, solid surface, but we're gonna talk about that here in a minute. We had some rubber base at the desk. We had some patching and repairs at the desk, wood veneer that got completed. Refinished the drywall openings and filling of the mortar penetrations. We had some where we ripped out the exterior windows. We had some mortar caulking joints and stuff that we repaired as well. So the pictures that you're looking at are some of the solar panel controllers, the solar panels, the new disconnects for the ACs, and so on and so forth.
There's just a lot going on the roof up there now.
There was. And I guess I kind of jumped ahead by the interior. Bob, if you go down to the next picture slide that shows in the interior pictures I was just describing. There's your interior pictures. And I think it's important to note too, there's a picture of a thermostat. We did have to replace all the thermostats. And we had a lot of, I'll call it fine tuning with the HVAC units. But
Did they got the wrong thermostats?
they had the wrong thermostats initially installed and it was causing some of our control issues on the rooftop units. But we've had the manufacturer train out. Did some reprogramming, fine tuning of the units. They're running great.
Replace those thermostats?
Yep.
Yeah.
Replaced the thermostats. We charged the split system units, did the testing on those. Everything's running good.
I'm hearing good reports from staff.
I actually called Dave a couple of last week, at the end of last week, and he was happy.
Dave is happy and that's
We fixed the airflow issue on a split system in the conservatory that was tripping out on high limit. Got that resolved. We made a lot of progress and got the HVAC to design standards, which was great. everyone's happy with it.
We were a little behind, but hey, we got there.
We did. We got there. So the last slide, the bad news, I guess. And Greg's with me here. Greg is the architect on the project. We have rejected the solid surface countertop on the circulation desk because 2 days after moved back in, we received these pictures from Catherine. It's scratching and not holding a finish like we believe it should be. So we think that there's just a bad run of material that we got a hold of, and we have rejected it.
It's
Do you-
it's hard to get a good picture of the scratches because of the way the light reflects off the desk, but you can see them on here. And these pictures are only several operational days after it was refinished. It looked good immediately after being refinished, but the ranch staff told me that it's so sensitive to scratching that even just moving a mouse around on it scratches it.
So you think it's
What?
just a bad countertop, or is it we need a different type of countertop?
I've been asking that. Is it a bad run or is the material just not good enough?
I'll let Greg answered that one.
So to speak to that, I mean, we use solid surface of similar colors in all kinds of high traffic areas. We use it at the airport. We use it in an office. We've used it in other
You
libraries.
said solid surface. Is that it's Corian, right?
Corian's a brand. Solid surface is the generic term for it.
That is weird because solid surface sounds more generic. But okay.
Solid surface is generic.
is
Yes,
generic.
Corian is the brand. Yes.
Okay, got it.
That if I misspoke. And I actually walked around your guys' library when I was in here today. You have a mix of, you do have a lot of stone in here, but you have solid surface in this library. I think the coffee is solid surface. It looks like your self checks are solid surface, and the cert desk next to the self checks are solid surface. Your sills most definitely are solid surface. Your window sills, and if you walk out here where they're lower, you can see them. So it's a very common and highly durable material that's used in this type of facility all the time.
Why do you think that countertop is doing that?
That's where it gets much harder to understand. As you saw, I brought the sample out that we all brought to you to review, and I showed you how I could scratch it with a pin. I even took a knife point to it, and it took pretty minimal damage.
He took a knife to it, scratched it, and then buffed it right out.
With my hand. And
Nothing.
And what's kind of a funny story is, and luckily we had already decided that we were going to resand one of the pieces of the circulation desk when we were out there, because I literally, as I was demonstrating this, accidentally scratched the actual countertop on the circulation desk in the same blow that did not scratch the sample. So that's when we started to say, like, this seems like that was the basis. I mean, it was kind of in the end, it was a happy accident, because whenever it after they got the finish right and it was scratching 2 days later, we said, we think there's something up with this specific run, because my sample didn't scratch in the same action that scratched the countertop on site.
And we had the company that we purchased the desk from and the manufacturer of the material out twice. Now we've rejected it twice. Now the first time we tried to reject it, it was pointed out that it hadn't received a full refinish, and so we agreed, all right, let's take it to, and they pointed out it was the finish that they gave it was between a matte and semi-gloss. So we refinished the whole thing again. It took about 10 hours, brought it up to a semi-gloss finish, which they said should help, but it didn't help.
It looked good at the semi-gloss finish. It looked great. It just
Immediately
didn't
after,
hold up
yeah.
to
So
the
by
scratching.
reject, what does that mean? They come and get it and replace it
Basically, yes. Yeah.
with the same,
Yeah. I mean, the idea is that if it is truly a bad batch, that a new run should be better.
Okay, so you will make sure that like the lot number is different and everything. I mean, I feel like my mom has solid surface Corian in her kitchen. She's lived there over 30 years and it's still in there.
And and it's another benefit of is it is refinishable, but I never had the experience of having to refinish one this early in a project, so
What's the turnaround time for that?
on refinishing,
On getting the new one in?
we don't have that yet, I don't think.
Yeah, we don't have that
And
right now. We're
different
still in the process of
complications.
going against the manufacturer.
The desk can raise and lower, which is a great functionality that the staff, they're using it, so it can raise and lower. But there's a weight limit on that, so that eliminates certain materials that would push it over the weight threshold. And that was one of the reasons I imagine you picked that material.
It is,
What he said is it's being rejected, so they're gonna get another piece or pieces of corian. So
Yeah,
John's question was, what's the timeline for the replacement of the corian?
I understand that, and I'm just saying, in those conversations, we've looked at alternate material, not,
But you can't use it.
but there's certain
Yeah.
things we have to eliminate because of weight, and so corian still looks like maybe the best solution because of that weight limit. Some of the other material that we've looked at, I don't think are good, would be good.
So we'll just keep that for now and then they'll replace it once they replace
We're
it.
still in
Okay.
negotiations, if you will, with the
And
manufacturer.
it's a custom
So-
desk, so Phil, Greg, how complicated will it be to take that countertop off and replace it?
I don't want to answer that question, Bob. No, we'll answer. It's gonna be a little more complicated than taking the countertop off because of the insulation of the desk itself. Now, to what level, we don't know just yet until we get into it. And there may be components of the desk that may have to be replaced, and we're working with the general contractor, Don, on that. 3D Pro, just to see what all is involved and how we're gonna go about it.
So when you say you're negotiating, have they agreed to replace it?
Excuse the term, it's probably not negotiating. We're still talking to them and telling them we have rejected this. What are you guys gonna do? That's where we're at this point.
So they haven't agreed.
They have not
Replace
agreed
it.
just yet, no.
We just can't accept that. I mean, I would,
No.
if you're in the areas, drop in there and look at it. When you see it in person, it looks 20 years old, that surface.
Yeah, and I do want to say Greg is really helping us by working with the manufacturer and telling them, you spec this product all the time. I mean, we see this product at the airport and it's holding up. So it should hold up at the library for sure, so.
And it might help for people to hear the history too of how we got to the situation, because it was actually, it looked really nice when it was first installed, but then it had to be moved for something else to be done, and they flipped it on its top, and it got a ton of scratches in it whenever they flipped it, and then that led to the original refinishing, so.
But if it were behaving normally, the refinish would have solved that.
Yeah, right, it's never, even at its best, I don't know that it's ever looked like it did when it was originally installed after they refinished it, so.
Could they reject that for that reason?
That, yeah, we initially rejected it for that because they couldn't get it back to, and then they said that they couldn't, that's when they decided they had not tried everything, and they came back and that's when they finally got it to a finish that we were happy with the appearance of. But it just hasn't held up since then, so.
So you guys will QA and then work it out with the manufacturer
Absolutely.
and then bring back problems, if any. Awesome.
Hope we don't have any.
Yeah, it feels like you guys just got a bad batch, which happens, who knows.
Yeah.
Is there,
So-
in case, is there an alternative surface?
So we have looked into this, that probably given the weight, given the weight limitation, you're probably out of using any kind of stone material, right? Quartz, granite, that's probably your most common material here. That's probably not in play, at least not for the sit stand desk frames. But you could potentially, one thing you can consider is Trespa. Again, Trespa is going to have You'll still get some fingerprinting with that if you choose a dark color. It's Trespa is a phenolic material. If you're, they basically layer sheets of paper and then they pour it with phenolic resin to build it up. It's used in laboratories a lot, casework. One thing I've talked about is that the edge never looks as nice because it's used in more utilitarian situations like laboratories. The edge kind of has a look that looks a little less refined to it. Probably the next option is plastic laminate, which we steered away from. It certainly meets the weight requirements, but there are slightly different durability issues with plastic laminate, right? It looks really good until it's chipped, but then it's very difficult to repair, right? You can use a rubber edge, which looks less nice than a plastic laminate edge, but is more durable. We do have some plastic laminate on the project, places that don't take as much abuse as the countertop. The problem with plastic laminate is anytime anybody catches that edge, you get a chip in it, and it's really hard to make that chip go away, so. But otherwise, it's pretty durable. That'd probably be the next two options.
How much does that slab cost? How much does that slab cost? What's the dollar?
All service.
In my conversations with 3D Pro, we've got an estimated value of 8 to 10,000. And not all of that value is the top. Some of that is the top being installed on the circulation desk. That has to be factored into that value. So that's kind of the tricky line right now that we're trying to deal with. Does that make sense?
So the contractor laid it on its side for the initial damage, right?
Correct.
And if they would push back from that, then the contractor would be responsible. Is that right?
Yeah,
So-
that's the way we would. tend to look
Yeah,
at
because
it.
I think we're starting to get into like a question of liability, which I think
Yeah.
these gentlemen are not yet saying that there's gonna be an issue yet, so.
I know, I'm just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for my own.
because I think that would be complicated, right? I mean, it's really hard to determine if the
Yeah,
contract.
now I've had conversations with the manufacturer, and a big selling point to this material is it can be refinished as many times as you want to do that. It's versatile that way. So it's been completely refinished. So I just feel like it's kind of a non-issue that they scratched it to begin with, since we did give it that full refinish, which took all day to do. Something else is going on with it that has nothing to do with, that the contractor set it on the side. And
Was the refinish an additional cost to the library?
Yeah.
Is there any other questions for us?
No, thank you for the update.
The solar panel system will be live next week. There's a surge protector that needs to be installed on the outside of the building, and it will be live.
Can you just make sure we have plenty of heads up? Our communications manager's in the room here with us, and that's probably something we'll want to share.
What percentage of the electricity do you think the solar panels, how much would that help?
I don't have that off the top of my
Well,
head. for you.
in our initial meeting, the Chinico, their initial estimate, I believe, was it might be 50 to 75%.
Yeah, I'd have to look at their quote. I could certainly get that information, but I'm sorry. But it's exciting, and we're gonna have the monitor that shows the usage of solar, and that'll be nice
Yep.
to have that.
Well, thank you, Phil. I mean, I don't think we would have gotten over the finish line without you. So I know you've done a lot.
Well, thank you, and thank you folks here on the board. It's been a pleasure to work with you. Hope there's future opportunities for us.
Yeah.
So it's been a good team.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Okay, anything else on the renovation? Nope. Any other questions? Okay. Old business. Any new business? All right, we are adjourned. It is 5:55.